Hey guys, happy Saturday. This is part two of leveraging the whiteboard. So the question is, are you busy smart or busy dumb? Andrew Houston here from Profit for Contractors with trading tips in your truck. Just picking up a nice piece of wood I had put together here with these guys here at Atmosphere and Boys. These guys are amazing. If you're here in Ottawa, if you're a builder, if you're a contractor, guys, you got to leverage this. This makes your projects look freaking unique. Your customer's super happy. Anyways, I'm going to be using this in the new office space at Profit for Contractors. It's going to be amazing. So anyways, let's get into the tradie tip in the truck. Let me just get in the truck. All right. So here we go. We talked yesterday, we talked about how to maximize control and communication by putting up a couple of whiteboards. And the whiteboards were the Progress to Profit board, which ensures that you are progressing your jobs to profit, and the Sales to Profit board, right? We just came up with that yesterday, the name of that. But so that the sales board feeds the Progress to Profit board, right? So let's take this to the next level. So I want to show you guys, either you're leveraging your insights to be smart, or you're not. And in all honesty, you're in essence going to be a little bit dumb, right? In the sense that you're not going to see what you need to see. So here we go. Let's do this. The whole key here, guys, is how to maximize the different cycles in your business. And right now, for 90% of you guys, it's busy season, right? It's that hay season I talk about all the time, right? So the whole goal is not about being busy. The whole goal is about how do we leverage this cycle in our business to maximize our profits, and to actually leapfrog us ahead, okay? Leapfrog us ahead, not just for this upcoming week, this upcoming month, but to leapfrog you ahead and leverage this cycle in your business for the slower periods, you know, when wintertime comes, things of that nature, but really to maximize it in all different aspects, okay? Now, here's the thing regarding these whiteboards. So let's deal with part two of the whiteboards. So now we got our whiteboards up on the wall, okay? And if you haven't done it already, make sure you go back to the previous video, understand what the Progress to Profit board is. Make sure you get into the contractor tips group, or for the champion CEOs, make sure you go into that group and download and grab the Progress to Profit tool. It's freaking amazing. And anyway, so with that being said, we want to leverage this cycle in our business. And a lot of times we just take whatever work that we can get, right? Like in the sense that the phone rings, somebody asks for a quote, we do the quote, maybe we get it, maybe we don't. Hey Alex, hey Liam, how's it going, guys? And so what we want to do is we want to be able to adjust the dials, okay? Adjust the dials on our sales board to be able to adjust and maximize the profits on the Progress to Profit board, on the jobs that we've actually got. So here's a couple of key things that you need to know, okay? The Progress to Profit board is laying out the map for what we have as far as work that's been awarded to us, and the Progress to Profit board is tracking the projects that we're actually doing right now. So let's use, I'm going to use some examples as far as numbers, fictitious, but this is actually probably the case for most of you guys. So if you look at your Progress to Profit board, all these jobs that you have, the reality is you're probably booked out for the next 2 weeks. A lot of our clients are booked out for the next month, if not 2 months, if not 3 months, even out to September, October. So what does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with the sales board? Guys, it has fucking everything to do with the sales board. Knowing how much work you have tells you what your capacity is. So let's say, for example, that you're at 80% capacity, okay? Let's just say for the next 2 months. Let's just say we're going to use this fictitious example of a contractor. He looks at his Progress to Profit board. He's tracking his jobs. He looks up there and he goes, man, I got enough work that we got to do for the next 2 months. Now he puts on his champion CEO hat, right? He puts on his hat. I don't know where's my hat, but anyways, he puts on his champion CEO hat. And guess what? He looks at that sales board, and now he sees things very, very differently. Instead of just quoting all the jobs, he's now able to look at these jobs, look at the Progress to Profit board, and he's able to have a gauge like a teeter-totter of going, well, wait a second. I've got all these quotes right here. I'm going to ask myself a really smart question. Here's the golden question. What is my conversion rate? What is my quote to win ratio? In other words, out of the jobs that I quote, how many do I actually win? Okay? Now, why is that so critical? Guys, that is one of the most critical dials to leverage these two boards, okay? Because just like a dial, okay, I used to build automation lines, so just like a dial in an automation line, if you don't control what feeds the progress to profit board, you could be saying yes to work that there's no way in hell that you're going to have the team and the capacity to be able to do that work. So the number one thing that your conversion rate is going to do for you on that sales board, looking at the progress to profit board, and you can only get this visibility, these insights, this genius champion CEO mindset if you're looking at these two boards at the same time, okay? This now tells us, wait a second, I can't, if my conversion rate, let's say just in this case, if my conversion rate is, 30%, okay, which is fairly standard that we see with a lot of contractors, is 30%. And I look at all these jobs that I've got a quote that's on my sales board, and I look at how much work I've got, holy shit, there's no way in hell that I'm ever going to be able, if I land 30% of this work, then I'm going to be able to manage that and be able to follow through on it and be able to actually do that work over this period of, say, the next 2 months, because I'm already at a certain level of capacity. So what does this do for you? This is where we crank up our ability to make profits, let alone our ability to manage, as I said in the previous video, our capacity. We want to keep our capacity around 80%. And you want to keep it to 80%, guys, because if you don't, if you go to 90 to 100, we get burnout of our team, we're scattered, and worse would be if we've got, on the books 110, 120%, 130%. Of workload, just to the mere fact that we didn't adjust the dial of our conversion rate, okay, on our sales board. And next thing you know, we don't even know it, but in 4 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time, the stuff that we quoted over here, right, that we're going to find out that we've won in the next week or two, is going to put us way over, right, way over, like, it's almost like your vehicle redlining, okay, like blowing the engine. And you don't even know it. So, guys, first of all, you've got to make sure you manage what you've got, okay? And protect what you've got. So, number one in this principle today, okay, as far as managing the sales to profit board and the progress to profit board, is you want to make sure you manage your capacity so that you maintain a level that's manageable. That's number one. Number two is this. When we look at our sales board, if we know that our average conversion rate is 30%, and we know that, if we look at, the timelines of these jobs, right? And that's why it's really important when you're talking with a client, when the phone is ringing, this is another video that we're going to do about filtering fast, that you ask some smart questions. And one of the smart questions that you definitely want to ask is this. You want to ask, hey, so when are you looking at having this thing done? That is such a critical question, because if you don't ask that, then you're not going to have the right information on the sales board to know whether or not you should actually quote that job, okay? To know how it's going to impact your progress to profit jobs, the jobs that are running or the jobs that are upcoming. So, guys, questions are super important. The best thing is being able to know the purpose behind a question and know how to make your questions as smart as possible, because smart questions give you smart answers. Dumb questions give you dumb answers. Worse yet, not knowing which questions to ask give you, results that you don't even know you're going to get. In most cases, not the results that you want. Okay, so what do we do with this? So we talked about principle number one, which is protect the work that you got, protect your capacity. Number two, okay, is this. If we know that our conversion rate is 30%, now we've got to ask ourselves a smart question. If we know these dates of when these clients need these jobs done, we can then look at this and go, wait a second. I can only handle maximum 20% of the work that's on my sales board. So you might be like, okay, well then I guess, coach, what you're probably going to say to me is that I gotta say no to people, right? I gotta get on the phone and say no. You're like, we can't handle any more quotes. That would be the wrong approach, and I'll tell you why. You don't know which quote you're going to win. You don't know exactly which quote you're going to lose. That's why we have to use the law of averages. That's why we have to know what our average conversion rate is. And as a matter of fact, I don't want you to say no to, if you've got a whole bunch of jobs that fit your criteria, that fit your clientele, that fit your avatar, your ideal client, you don't want to say no to them. So what do? Here's what you do. Our goal, remember, is to reduce our conversion rate so that we can optimize the workflow that we've got and optimize, the current jobs that we've got, okay? So what does this mean? Guys, this is the best opportunity ever in the cycle of your business to crank up your price. It is the best way to maximize profits. It is also the best way to do what? Filter fast, because the people that truly believe in your product and service are going to do what? They're going to be willing to pay you what you're worth. They're going to be willing to pay more than what the competition is paying because they believe in you and they want your product and service. I just have my little Tim Hortons here. Good old Canadian coffee. So, guys, this is a game changer because when you think about this, when you can start tracking your conversion rate and you start cranking up your pricing, and now you can go, okay, man, our conversion rate's gone down to 25%. Okay, perfect. We can turn it up a little bit more. Oh, it's come down to 20. You want to adjust this dial, and this dial never stays. It never stays set. Okay, this dial constantly needs to get adjusted, right? Constantly needs to get calibrated. Okay, one of the things we do for contractors that are looking to get insights specific to their business is we have what's called a calibration call, go figure, right? Where we get very specific insights. We get in the shoes of the contractor and we give them tips and tricks and insights, and we calibrate to go, hey, here's what you got to adjust. Not like, here's the first thing you got to stop or completely change or do new. No, we calibrate, right? We adjust, right? Adjusting something versus completely changing it's way easier. So that's the key, okay? So number one principle, protect the work you've got. Number two principle, adjust your conversion rate by leveraging and increasing your price, okay? Increasing your what? Your profits, okay? Now, here's the interesting thing. You're never gonna know, okay? What you get out of this is incredible. What you get out of this, okay, number three principle, is you end up getting more Class A plus clients, because those are the people, like I said, that are willing to pay the extra, okay? And on the other side of it, okay, what this allows you to do is this allows you to track and adjust throughout this cycle, okay? So you can turn up, you can turn it down, okay? Hey, great talk. Hey, Billy. Nice to meet you. Okay, so when you look at this, guys, you've got to know the dials in your cockpit, and the dials in your cockpit right now, the core ones we're talking about in this video is your progress to profit board, how much work you got, where it's at, what phase is it at, are we progressing to profit, are we making profit along the way, okay? Instead of waiting until the end of the freaking end of the game, the end of the 12th inning, and we're like, oh man, what's the scoreboard? No, we're gonna stop that. Number two, we got a sales board. We're gonna track how much opportunities we got so we don't drop these opportunities, and we're going to leverage this knowledge in between the two called our conversion rate, and we're going to adjust it, crank it up so that we are managing our conversion rate such that it's not giving us so much work that we can't handle it and affecting the current work that we've got. Okay, the other aspect of this, guys, is let's think about profitability. The profits that you can make on this, okay, you think about this. If you were able to increase your profits, like let's just say that you were quoting jobs at 30 points, okay? Even let's just say you're quoting jobs at 20 points, okay? Margin, okay? And you're able to adjust that dial. Watch this. Pay very close attention to this one. And you're able to adjust that dial up to the point, adjust your pricing up to the point that you've increased your pricing from 20% to 30%. Your conversion rate has gone down. Your margin has gone from 20% to 30%. Are you ready for this? You ready? You didn't just increase your profits by 10%. You increased your profits. In other words, the delta between the 20 and the 30 is around 33%. 30-some% profit. Guys, that's huge, okay? Imagine being able to do this just for 2 months of the year, 3 months of the year, 4 months of the year. Things are starting to slow down a bit, coach. Things are starting to get a little bit, seasonal, starting to go down. Well, guess what? All the profits that you made, 30-some% more profits are over that period of 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Here in Canada, it's going to be at least 6 months, okay? What can you do with that? I can tell you what you can do with that. You're going to put some of that in the bank, in a little private space where it's going to be protected. And that's going to allow you to do what? Hey, Adam, how's it going, brother? What's that going to allow you to do? That's going to allow you to be, even more competitive during those slower times, because you can now be during the, say you do have, some big dips in slower times. You can now be crazy ass competitive price-wise because you've put in the bank a shitload of extra profit that you can leverage if you're smart about it, okay? If you lay it out and you're intentional, instead of just making more profits and you're spending more profits. No, man, we got to make more profits so that we can save more profits, so that we can leverage those profits to build the business, to scale the business, to get an unfair advantage over our competition, okay? So guys, this does so many things. Let's just wrapping this up. Trade tips and truck. I got to get going and start installing this. I love doing these little projects. Installing this vanity that this piece of wood that I just had built. Freaking love it. Anyways, so this does a lot of things. It controls your ability to balance like a teeter-totter instead of having workflow and then sales. No, it creates the two to work together as one, okay? So that we can actually balance it properly, okay? And that's actually what we want, right? We want to be not like a roller coaster like this. We want to be level like that, okay? So picture that we got this little triangle, okay, that sits underneath this. Instead of us adjusting things up and down like this, all we're doing is we're just balancing, okay? We're just moving that like a dial, like a scale. We're moving that in between how much workflow we have. Really what we're doing is we're balancing it between lead flow, right? And deal flow over here, and workflow. And in the middle, we got this triangle, and that's called profitable business flow, okay? So guys, balance it, get off the roller coaster ride, leverage the seasons of your business, okay? Don't just be busy and dumb. Be busy and smart, okay? Leverage the insights that are right at your fingertips. These two whiteboards are freaking killer, okay? No filler, okay? And that's it. So I got to get rocking and rolling. Catch you guys on the flip side. I got a little bit of golf today. Gonna go golfing with the fam. Should be fun. We got friends and their kids. We're all gonna go golfing, which is gonna be really good. Yeah, that's about it, guys. So trading tips in your truck. If you want to get more insights like this, you want to get the tools, you want to see the progress to profit template, and actually see how it's actually done and the steps towards it, join the Contractor Tips group. If you're going to go and join the Contractor Tips group and you're not willing to answer some of the questions, because we want to, back to filtering fast, we want to make sure that we got people that are serious contractors, business owners. If you're not willing to fill in some questions around, your business and what you're looking to get some insights on and things of that nature, don't bother, joining the Contractor Tips group. I'm not trying to be a goof about this, guys, but honestly, those that are really serious about getting help will get help. Those that are sort of half-assed serious about it, tend to be the ones that don't want to answer all the questions. Hey, man, I'm totally fine with that because you just won't get into the group. So if you really want to get into this Contractor Tips group, get more insights times 10x that we cover off here. All my Champion CEO family members out there, you know what I'm talking about. Go to the membership site, by the way. Look up the Progress to Profit board, okay? All you Champion CEOs in the PFC family. And look up the sales board, all right? And I guess the last one that you guys want to look at, again, for the Champion CEOs, is you want to look at the 4 pillars of profit, okay? So, which allows you, it's a template that maps out step by step how to track these numbers, and how to use them and optimize them, so you can actually have this template that you can fill in and track, you know, month on month, if not week on week, and combine that with the Progress to Profit board and the sales board training. Freaking, it's killer. It's just awesome. All right, so guys, we'll catch you on the flip side. Andrew Houston from Profit for Contractors with trading tips in the truck for you kick-ass, badass business owners out there. And you guys have a great weekend. We'll catch you on the flip side. All right, ciao.